guys, it's me, Teacher Nicole again. I'm here for week 2 of Science Eyes, where we're doing our lettuce experiment. I couldn't help but notice how much growing was happening in my little makeshift greenhouses back here. If you remember, I just took a salad box and I put some water at the bottom, and then after we had chopped our head of lettuce, we chopped it and there was just a stub, and this is kind of what this stub looked like. That was day 2. It was all kind of in one day that happened, and then we stuck it in water, and then we came back, and we came back a week later, so for week 1, and we wanted to see how much had grown, and this is what we saw. Oh my goodness, it had just started. You could still see the stub from the first day, but all this up here, that was all new. I'm wondering, do you think anything's changed this week? It's been another week. I'm gonna think for a second. I'm gonna put my science hat on. Boop. Now I have my science hat, and I'm thinking, it still has water, it still has light, and it's still nice and warm in there. I think it grew some more. I really do. Do you think it grew some more? You want to check it out? Should we go see? Okay, let's go look and see. But first, before we go, I have a blank piece of paper, because not only do we look with our eyes, we're also going to draw. I happen to have some markers today. Is lettuce red? No. So would I use red? No. Is lettuce blue? No. So I'm not going to use blue. Is it orange? No, it's not orange, silly. It's green. So I'm going to use my green marker. Is it okay if I still just used my crayon though? Absolutely. Use whatever you have. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you have a blank piece of paper so that we can draw with our green marker. Or your crayon, your pencil, whatever you got. I wouldn't worry about it. All right, let's go check out what's happening inside of our greenhouse. Let's see. All right, so as you can see, it was just the big old lettuce box. That's what it says there. And then in there, I put all my food scraps that I had. I heard somewhere that they called them lettuce hearts. I've been calling them a head of lettuce. And I think the head is like when it's a cabbage and it's round. But then the lettuce hearts. So I planted a couple of the lettuce that we had in there the other day out in my garden, because they were getting too tall for the box. But let's check this out. You guys, this is Napa cabbage, and that is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Some of it's starting to look a little soggy, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's gonna happen. I've never grown this before, so we're just kind of experimenting with that. And then I cut more lettuce. My family eats a lot of salad, so I do this all the time. So here's another one that we just started. That's a baby. But here's our guy. Oh my goodness. You guys, what do you think? Do you think it's grown more? Sure looks taller to me, and something exciting's happening in here. I don't know if you can see that. That is so cool. Let's bring it over to the light to see. I brought it back over to the table so that we could really kind of take a look in there and see. Do you guys see how gorgeous that is? Oh my goodness, look at those little lines. It is the cutest thing. That is like a baby head. Oops, sorry, I just learned it, didn't I? Heart of lettuce. I wonder if it's called a heart, because a lot like our hearts, there's all those tiny little veins that come out. Do you guys see all that detail? Look at those lines. I'm gonna keep going. This is kind of like if I had a magnifying glass, like we use in class, we use magnifying glasses. I don't have one at home, so I'm just using my eyes. I'm noticing that right there, it's gotten a little bit brown. I don't know why, but that's okay. we're gonna go down and look down. Here's the stub. That's what we started with. That was the original part. And now we have all of this. Okay, not gonna lie, it's a little wet. So I'm gonna take away some of my paper so everything doesn't get wet. I'm gonna just put one piece of paper down. And then we're gonna come over here and we are gonna draw, just like we do every week, this onto the piece of paper. And since I'm not sharing it with anybody, I can just do this right here on its own. And I can just put it right up next to the paper so I can see how tall it is. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I did that last week. That would have been a good idea. All right, you guys, I have my piece of paper. I think it's all in there. Okay, I have my piece of paper. I have my green marker. I took the top off my marker. I'm gonna put it on the back so I don't lose it. And then I have my little piece of lettuce. Okay, so we're gonna look at it. We're gonna use our eyes to look at the lettuce and draw what we see. So the first thing that I'm gonna draw is the little stump that we started with, because that's important. And it kind of looks like that, like a little bowl, down, across, up, across. And then it's got all this new height on there, which I love. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm just gonna kind of, I'm not tracing it, I'm just drawing right alongside of it. And we're gonna go up and across and back down. That's about how tall this is. Do you see that? And so now when we go back and we look, we will be able to see if it's gotten any taller. Okay, but is that what our lettuce looks like? No, that's silly. That was just me trying to do how tall it is. So I'm noticing that it has a little ridge down across. I'm gonna do some lines, up, up, across, 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 across. If you look really close at your lettuce, it's also got little shapes. So I'm gonna do those. You can do as much detail as you want. I love to draw. So I'm gonna do lots of detail. I'm noticing here too, ridge, ridge, ridge. Look at that. It's not a straight line, it's kind of bumpy. So bump, 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 bump. I went down and across. And then it's got some more bumps, 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 bumps. Go down, I'm noticing there's another one of those ribs. Across, I'm just kind of making like a big thick line with some more lines that come off. Do you see those little lines? So I'm just drawing those, and then I'm gonna do some more. Now, we talked a little bit about the shapes. They're not squares, they're not ovals, they're just kind of like squiggly bumps. I think it would be okay if you just did some squiggly bumps and lines. It's kind of like the veins in our body. We were talking about that just now, about the heart. Maybe that's why they call it a heart. There's some like sharper pieces too I'm noticing here. Bloop, 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 bloop. So I'm gonna make those here. Kind of like a little mountain, right? And there's some more lines with circles. And another little piece here. Whew. You know, I'm kind of getting tired. I understand if you're getting tired too. This is hard work. But being a scientist is hard work too. I'm just going to do some more scratchy lines. This base isn't quite the same as the top part. Yeah, being a scientist is hard work. And that's what we're being right now. We are examining and observing natural things and watching it grow. We also made what's called a hypothesis. We thought, what do you think is going to happen? And we all decided that maybe it was going to grow more. Now this is week 2. My name is Teacher Nicole, so I'm going to make sure my name is over here so that I can remember what it is. Now I'm going to think about some stuff that I'm noticing here. So some of the things that I wanted to think about while I was looking at it was how it just looked a little different, right? Like there was just some new ridges and grooves, and that there were some parts that felt like they were a little bit more scraggly. They were sharper lines. This is kind of out of focus, so you can't really see it as well. But there's some really cool stuff that's happening here. My neighbor just started his lawnmower. It's gonna get loud. We don't want it to get loud. But it's growing and it's getting beautiful. And it's almost at the top of our container, so we're gonna have to think about what we're gonna do next. If it gets too big for its box, what do we do? I might have to go plant it out in my garden, which will be okay, because we'll just go and observe it in its soil and in the dirt, okay? I'm gonna do a little research on the internet to see what it says. Maybe it can still grow in water. I don't know. All right, check it out. Week 2. It's beautiful. Let's look at week 1. That's not even showing it the right way. What a goofy teacher. Okay, it's gotten a little bit taller, a little bit bigger. Isn't that exciting? I love science, and I love doing this with you guys. It has been so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna take my little lettuce and I'm gonna put it back in the greenhouse for now. When you're at home and you're doing this, just put in a cup of water. It's totally fine. I have little cups of water filled with vegetable scraps like this all over my kitchen window. It gets a lot of nice sunlight. Just make sure there's a lot of sun there. All right, you guys. I look forward to seeing you next week. We're gonna do this again and see what's happened. All right, bye. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy.